we with our elected officials have an opportunity to change the outcome of this. And so I implore you, I beg you really, to treat our unhoused neighbors as humans, and for your voting and your policy making and where we're putting our funding to reflect that.
Hi guys, sorry I'm a little late, but as you see, City Council now won't let me in the media gallery because there's no media here and they don't recognize my press pass. Yay! So it's really amazing that they took the time to pay attention to my live stream to say, hey, you can't sit at the desk. Too bad they didn't listen to anything you said about maybe helping the unhoused in the middle of a fucking pandemic and an economic crisis. So yay, City Council. Once again, licking boots instead of knocking them. Just saying. One's ugly, and it's the one you choose to do. Excuse me while I get set up. No, y'all, the guys just doing their job. It's all good. They're doing what they're told to do. It's fair enough. And hey, they've been great to me. Every week I've been here, I've been way more out of control than this most of the summer. Bates, they kicked me out. Can you believe this shit? We got veterans dying. We've got unhoused dying. We've got people dying without health insurance. This is what they respond to, that I'm sitting in the wrong goddamn chair. If it's just you and me, why can't it be that every Monday? I mean, really. By the way, everybody be nice to him. He works for the sheriff. He is the person who helps us out when my protest kids get arrested and forget things like the charger for their hearing aids or the medication that's in their pocket they're not supposed to get. So you can hate DPD, but don't hate the people, hate the system. Change the system, be nice to one or two. Never hurts.
Like one.
That's the one. That's the one. And you know why? Because he sees all this stuff too. They got the same rotating coteria here every Monday that see everything City Council does. And to hear them agreeing with my comments or snapping behind me, I can tell you which ones do and which ones will tell you stories that would make your ears curdle. Like my eyes almost want to fall out of my head at things that are said. It's like those racist bastards forget that there are people helping them that are impacted by the things they don't do every single day. So, and all those people talk. And all you need is one good dude to introduce you to all those people, and then you got stuff for the next electoral cycle. Hello?
All witnessed by our kids, all to the detriment of kids who are not at school, who are at home all day, victimized by these deleterious influences, all having a negative, destructive effect on our.
Trying to get my Zoom up and running.
Is it time for you, our community leaders, to evaluate these vices and do something to help our community to ameliorate these problems? Every one of these entities that profit from the problems that they cause should
care and reduce these problems. We depend on you, our leaders, to make that happen. Thank you.
See, everybody's way too polite. You pay these bastards $125,000 a year. Don't thank them for listening. It's their goddamn job.
Thank you. Just regarding the technical difficulties, Dave Hagan was also trying to make comment. I believe you called him at the beginning, and he did not receive a link to get into the webinar. But I'll go into my comments.
There's Shannon Hoffman.
My name is Shannon Hoffman, and I am a resident of District 10. Today is an my name is Shannon Hoffman, and I am a resident of District 10. Today is an exciting day. The new safe outdoor spaces are set to open. And tomorrow morning, Wednesday morning, Thursday morning, this city under your watch will We'll send out police to tell folks who are unhoused to move along to where. Tonight, we will vote on whether or not we will give that $16 million for upgrades to body cameras. $16 million when weeks ago we couldn't give $300,000 for toilets and hand washing stations for the unhoused. $300,000 is pennies compared to $16 million. But you lack the will and compassion to stand up against this mayor and his administration to offer what our community really needs. I watched you last week as I listened to Dr. Amy Wright provide the state homelessness report. And when she said our largest house is growing, unhoused folks are senior citizens and children, you smiled and nodded. You didn't say we have to do something. You didn't make any commitments. But lucky for us, there are folks in this community like Ian Tafoya and the headwater protectors who went back to our Sunday where this city said was swept because it was a health hazard, and they found dozens of needles and truckloads of trash left behind by the city. Lucky for us, we do have dense homes out back. How is there for Black and Indigenous folks that you continue to sweep while you hypocritically read your land acknowledgement to the Arapaho and Cheyenne people? And lucky for us, we do have groups like from Allies to Abolitionists that watch tonight how you vote on this body cam bill, and we can hold you accountable to do better for the unhoused, and we will vote you out if you don't. We have everything we need right here in this community, and somebody special says that in our community. Thank you for listening, and I hope if I share my thinking to promote
Tonight is a bunch of stuff that's gonna sound really boring. I tried to make it interesting as humanly possible. But the real opportunity to hijack public input and their sessions that are usually from the last minute, so that I can like you to get down and seeing what kind of get down. Does you want here in first like hell, you know, Paris, every opportunity, Paris, every opportunity. Yeah, and that's really what it's about, right? Taking over and over again. And by the way, you're not doing anything about the crisis, there's new stuff. There is, he never misses a single shot.
I took him to the task force last week too, the Murphy Road. How he addressed the issue of yeah, duh. Everyone's like, director of safety. Like, that was.
I want to keep on, the senator's testimony.
Yeah, and realizing how much it's gonna take just to get them out of the budget is, yeah.
I think after watching that, I realized how they
We gotta change the city charter, we're gonna be able to put that up, that's gonna be a conversation about that. We can change the city charter for a reason that.
Now, we discussed how this thing that happened last week.
It's in the city charter, there's nothing happening, there's this ordinance, nothing ever. Change that, but it's gonna have to be a ballot initiative. Right, we can shut all the clubs down, but we gotta show up. We gotta turn this into Compton. Welcome to the city of Compton as the most incredible city council meetings you've ever seen. Like, whatever you see in the streets happening anywhere around the life is happening in city council meetings. Every single one. It makes it fun. If we can make that actually happen, God, there's no. That's probably one of the. Thank you for showing it. We're here for it. We're here for it.
I appreciate it.
So that particular line is supposed to be swept tomorrow. This camp has up to 50 people in it. Half made up of people who were moved from the downtown library for 2 weeks ago, because we can have scoops, numerous scoops every week. Commander Sanchez knew that one of the deals that I attended, that they're going to increase the schools. EIT is trying as to keep the camp for less than 10 people. So, 21st and 22nd and Market and Lake Wazoo, 20th and Park Avenue, scheduled for Wednesday. And then on Thursday, on the study and witness.
Mm-hmm.
Since we can do better than why aren't we doing better? We spend all this money lying to get the voice license saying that this should be the answer, we can do better, so it's time to do better.
Thank you. That is all of the speakers that we have tonight for our public comment. And in these times of social change, it's critical that members of the public have more opportunities to be heard by leaders at all levels of government. The next general public comment session will be held before the council meeting of Monday, December 14th. Sign up begins at 12 noon on Friday, December 11th. Thank you all for attending, and we council looks forward to hearing from you all again. Please stay on this meeting to attend the regular session of Denver City Council, which will begin momentarily after a quick break. Please stay with us.
After they go give each other high fives for keeping me out of the media chair. Fuck y'all.
That's never what I want to create, the same more line insurance out of you. And I said, really, still, I'm like, you think he was gonna hire me to stay sometimes? Fuck that.
This week, the first safe outdoor space is set to open, and there are plenty of ways to help those in need this season. Those stories are just ahead on Your City Now. The first week of this month was set for the opening of possible alternatives to the homeless camps that continue to exist throughout the central city. They are called safe outdoor spaces and are essentially sanctioned staffed camping operations. They are intended to be a temporary measure to ensure that people experiencing homelessness can stay healthy during the coronavirus surge and be warm during the winter. The first to open is a site in the parking lot at First Baptist Church near East 14th Avenue and Grant Street. It will be fenced off and staffed all day and night, and people living there will be provided with tents, places to store belongings, bathrooms and showers, as well as mental health counseling and other support. To stay in the camps, people will have to adhere to strict rules. The First Baptist site can accommodate 30 women and transgender people. A second site, Denver Community Church at 16th and Pearl Street, will accommodate 40 single men and women, couples with pets, and LGBTQ individuals. It will open soon. The city is still seeking proposals for more sites, as these two will operate for only 6 months. The site suggested will be subject to a zoning and community approval. Denver Good Deeds is a 4-man volunteer program that allows city employees time to give back to their community and serve Denver residents.
I mean, it's good for life, you got your pick a lot, but again, well, that's great. This is good.
Two of the volunteer opportunities currently available are coverings for coworkers and the Denver Santa Claus Shop.
I mean, it's just really fulfilling to see hundreds, if not thousands of people gather and we come in and fill that void, that gap in their Christmas presents for their children.
City employees who want to participate in the program can contact Denver Good Deeds at denvergov.org. After a year of tremendous loss, now is the time for everyone who can afford to help those in need to donate to the various charities in the Denver area. Giving is what holiday spirit is all about, and now more than ever, people could use a hand up. Toys for Tots is dedicated to making sure every child has something to open Christmas morning. Visit toysfortots.org on how to donate. Denver Human Services is sponsoring Be a Giver Holiday Gift Drive to help families in the Denver area. For a full holiday gift guide, visit denvergov.org/give. Safe House Denver provides women and children escaping domestic violence a safe place to stay. This charity accepts donations from individuals as well as organizations to help those transitioning to a better life. The Denver Rescue Mission remains committed to transforming lives. Your donation is essential to provide help to those experiencing homelessness. The goal of the community ministry is to provide families with a holiday food box. Visit comministry-denver.org for a full list of food items needed to help feed hungry families. If everyone does their part and donates to any worthy cause, then the holiday season may be just a bit kinder for everyone. It's Christmas time in the city, and there are plenty of ways to enjoy the lights and sights in downtown Denver with your household safely this year. The Parade of Lights was canceled this year, but the floats can still be seen by young and old alike. The floats are stationed at locations all around downtown. Download the Parade of Lights app and participate in the scavenger hunt to find your favorite. Union Station presents its Winter Wonder Light Show, featuring digital video projection on the building, as well as your favorite holiday tunes. If you head down to the 16th Street Mall, you'll find the newly relocated Mile High Tree right on the corner of 16th and Walton. This 110-foot marble is free this year, with plenty of social distancing practices in place to keep you safe. Moving off the mall this year is every
I'm sorry?
The market boasts 60,000 square feet of space spread out in capacity limits due to water, but all your favorite holiday
I
lights
was
featuring
sending photos to and tagging on city council members in it on Twitter. And I'm about to do it on Facebook.
Cool.
And, like,
Is that just a live stream coming through?
yeah, I'll let you know everything.
There you go. No, I was like, what's he doing over there? My eyes are so bad, like, I want to be on it.
It's okay, now I mean, you totally can. Usually I'm like, bring your own thing, it's public driving, this section is only 30 minutes long,
Yeah.
and they are not exactly technically serving at all. So they're always issues. So they get a tip, usually like 4.
And that was, yeah. And they just ended it.
My brother gives me a set, I'd be like, in December, we have like, we're 65.
Yeah.
Or they'd be like, great, you don't get a slide. I'll stream everything you have to say. And then as my platform got big enough, I could make it come back.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic. Just type it out, okay?
Yep, they kicked me out of a chair that no one's using,
Which stands one nation, under
but they ain't doing anything
with liberty and justice.
about the pandemic. Correct. Par for the course with your city council.
We would invite council members to fill media lines, but join council member Ortega and the land acknowledgement. Go ahead, Councilwoman.
Thank you, Madam President. The Denver City Council honors and acknowledges that the land on which we reside.
But do you acknowledge that you were never going to do anything to help the people you stole it from, that you're going to continue to oppress a permanent underclass we create with the high school to prison pipeline and all of the unfair arrests, and that's for the lucky ones who actually live long enough to become part of that pipeline as opposed to killed by the police as children? You know, who kicked me out of the chair? It's a good question. I'm not sure. Do we know who kicked me out my chair? Who decided I wasn't important enough and I needed to be over here standing up and yelling? You don't know? They don't tell you? Is it the chicken shit bitches that aren't here tonight? Is it the chicken shit bitches who aren't here tonight? Okay. I'm just not sure if it's them or like a city council member. I just need to know who to take my complaint to. I would hate to use the improper channel. Okay. Thank you. I'm always curious. See, that's the thing, though, about privilege. You're going to have to do way worse than that to take mine away. Y'all can't shut me up. You can't keep me out. I pay too much taxes. My husband's really respectable, and you want his money, so you're going to kiss his ass. You want the family foundation money, so you're going to kiss their ass, which means you got to deal with me. So fuck you. I ain't cut. You broke him. You ain't shit. Yeah? Oh, okay.
What do you do if you really have a license to take? There was no city attorney and I had better things to do. Actually, the city attorney wasn't there all week and I'm in the jail and whatever. I didn't, so.
Are there cameras in there? Are there cameras in here?
There is.
There is? Okay. So if I were to actually piss on something, they would know?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Good to know. I just assumed there were because of those little boxes.
Oh,
but-
yeah, there's cameras everywhere.
Yeah, but do they turn them on? Is it like an ATM? ATMs have cameras, but it costs money to use them.
This in the mayor's office, I know they got secret cameras, even they got more cameras than that. Yeah. I'm 100% confident that, yeah, they can see anytime.
Oh, well.
So anyway, I'm not going to bother anymore. They taped up your thing, though. That is funny, though.
That's
Nobody's
ridiculous.
Sitting there, I guess that's safe now, right?
I guess they think that makes a difference. Like I'm going to go home and cry.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see you giving up.
It doesn't happen. They lock the door, I kick the window in and act like I didn't know what happened. I mean, I would hate for that to happen accidentally in a moment of a mental crisis for which no court of law could hold me accountable. I think they call it Karen syndrome.
To acknowledge that
Yeah.
on tonight's agenda, we have a proclamation that will go on consent for years ago. I wanted to just make a few very brief comments. We're not going to have him speak for any other speakers, but he served our city for 20 years as the executive director of the Civil Service Commission. And under his leadership, they worked on the promotion and disciplinary process, reform the disciplinary process to improve public confidence. They developed the disciplinary matrix, and then also established a system of standards for accountability and discipline. They also worked to officers being hired that had language skills who were bilingual or compensated.
This is pathetic. You guys are fucking pathetic.
Worked to ensure that the public safety cadet program was an opportunity for youth in our community, and particularly our communities of color, to be able to get into the fire and the police department. And that's only because they handle that process for those two, but cadets can also get into the sheriff's department as well. So I just wanted to acknowledge, I'm not sure if Earl is on tonight, but we encourage him to watch and let him know that it's going to move through on our consent calendar. And I just want to thank him for his years of service to our community and for all of his hard work in leading a capable team of individuals who were part of the staff as well as the commissioner.
Tyler with you every year.
Thank you.
I know. That's why I had 4 of them. If it wasn't a pandemic, let me tell you what they would be here doing. Everybody gets lollipops, cappuccino, a puppy, and to stay up real late. Let's go. We go to public school. They don't have to show up on Tuesdays, right?
Thanks so much, Madam President. I just wanted to mention 2 quick things. We have a town hall tomorrow night on group living. I am co-hosting that with Councilman Cashman and Councilwoman Black at 6 p.m. Please, anyone who's interested in the community and finding out more about some of the updates that we have been working on with community planning and development. We'll be doing a town hall tomorrow night with some community to go through some of those updates. So please join us 6 p.m. tomorrow night for that. And also just wanted to remind everyone that today is Pearl Harbor Day. So just wanted to give a reminder of that and thank all of our service members and just maybe take a quick moment of silence for those people who were at Pearl Harbor and who lost their lives there. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Sawyer. Councilman Black.
Thank you, Madam President. In addition to the group living town hall that is on Tuesday night, on Thursday from 4 to 5, there is another town hall hosted by sort of the East Denver electeds, including some of our Southern Council members as well as state legislators, RTD representatives, and our special guests this week are some of our state senators and representatives who will be giving us a outlook for the 2021 state legislative session. So you can join us and find more information on the websites of me and Councilwoman Sawyer, Councilman Hines, and Councilman Cashman. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we have Councilman Zedawaka.
Thank you, Madam President. Just wanted to let folks tuning in know that our annual Hiawatha Davis Senior Luncheon, for obvious reasons, is not happening this year. So if you're planning on that, make sure that you mark on your calendar year. It is not happening this year. Additionally, would like to thank Ian Tafoya and all of the volunteers who came out to finish the job that we are under the impression Dottie and Didi Pagey are doing when they perform a cleanup. There were countless bags of trash that were collected at the Arkansas area that we should have collected when we swept people along last week. And so thank you to the volunteers who spent their entire weekend cleaning that up and delivering those trash bags to the city and county building where they belong. And so we hope that the city actually cleans up the next time they perform.
All the things you guys are worried about right now, it's that.
Thank you. All right, moving forward, any more hands for announcements? There are no resolutions, there are no communications, and we have 2 proclamations that are being read.
Can you please do something about this thing?
Proclamation on consent agenda.
Yeah, get down there and find the
Right?
Go live on speech.
466.
Come in and see how much they cost. We've got the numbers.
Proclamation number 20-1466, recognizing the service of Marvin Kelly to the city of Denver. Whereas Marvin Kelly's service to Del Norte Neighborhood Development
This stuff is good and important and nice, don't get me wrong,
May 1980.
but it's mostly white people. Every once in a while, they'll throw in someone brown.
December 20.
Yada, yada, demographics, we just don't have that many bullshit. We don't have that many black people, we got lots of not black, not white people here. It's ridiculous. But yeah, it's basically a circle jerk for the first hour. And then they wait for people to either get bored or tap out. And that's when the good stuff starts. And by the good stuff, I mean like it's really boring by design to get you to tap out and to not hear the loaded phrases that like they use. One of my favorites is it's called pedestrian friendly corridors. That means that's a specific design thing. That means that there are no doorways an unhoused person could sleep in. No heat grates where an unhoused person would want to sleep on top of in the winter. No places for people to loiter. And lots of things. That's what pedestrian friendly corridors are, and they're trying to put those up all, like that's the new design standard going up in the areas that are going to be rezoned tonight. If you ask me, it's pretty ugly and it's racist as fuck. But it's so innocuous if you weren't listening for it and didn't really know that that was a thing, because they never explain it.
Yeah, no problem. First AIDS housing in Colorado. Developed and completed in 1985 and 9 block academic terrace property. One of the first projects in the nation that was used as a model for low-income housing tax credit program. And developed specifically housing for the homeless living in Denver, providing thousands of families.
Oh, yes, you will, bitch.
Provided over $3 million in second mortgages and low and moderate income, primarily Hispanic first-time homebuyers. Provided post-purchase counseling to help hundreds of families, hundreds of homeowners prevent foreclosure. Rehabilitated more than 300 low-income owner-occupied homes in Denver. Rehabilitated over 600 rental units covering a full range of quality affordable housing products with attention to housing for seniors, persons living with HIV/AIDS, those with and physical and mental disabilities, families, veterans, and others with special housing needs. Developed over 300 units of new affordable housing and developed or redeveloped over 20,000 square feet of commercial space. Increased Del Norte's assets from $0 in 1986 to nearly $68 million today. Whereas Marvin has served on many boards and communities such as Neighborhood Development Collaborative, the City of Denver's Advisory Committee for Housing Opportunities for Persons with AIDS, the National AIDS Housing Coalition, and the National Network Advisory Committee for Enterprise Foundation. He is a former commissioner of the Denver Housing Authority and is a current board member of the Denver Metro Fair Housing Center. And whereas Marvin received the following awards: Father Vincent O'Flaherty Award for significant collaboration and commitment to Denver Island neighborhood and Denver's Cinco de Mayo Civil Rights Award, and for Del Norte's work in restoring historic properties, the Historic Denver Award, and the Colorado Historic Society. Now therefore be claimed by the Council of the City and County of Denver, Section 1, that the Council of the City and County of Denver recognizes Marvin Kelly and his passionate dedication to work on behalf of the people of the City and County of Denver and service to his community during a career of major collaboration.
Excuse me while I got creative. I got to put this everywhere, tag everybody, and email all the assistants. This bullshit.
Shall affix the seal of the City and County of Denver to this proclamation, and that a copy be transmitted to Marvin Kelly.
Thank you, Councilwoman Ortega. Your motion to adopt.
Thank you. And I wanted to also share my screen for just a moment, if I may, while I'm making comments, so that,
Councilwoman, we still need to make the motion.
Yeah. I move for the adoption of proclamation number 20-1466.
Very good, thank you. It has been moved and seconded. Thank you, Councilman Flynn. Comments by members of council. Councilwoman Ortega, go ahead.
Now, may I share my screen?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. Documents here. I had it here just a minute ago. Let's do this one. Is this one showing up? Can you all see it? Is that not on?
Not yet.
Okay, I don't know. I've got Joe Wood on, and Joe was gonna try to share it if I was not able to. If you can promote him while I'm speaking, and maybe show his pictures in the background. I don't know why it's not.
We'll just ask Joe to maybe raise his hand and attend.
Yeah, Joe. Okay, Joe, if you can raise your hand, get you connected so you can share your screen.
Got it. And now?
And while those are going on in the background, I am gonna just make some additional comments. So we got a minute.
Yep. Joe's in, so we'll go ask Joe if you want to go ahead and share the screen.
So these are some photos that you can show in the background on a number of the different properties and projects that Del Norte has done. But I wanted to just make some additional comments other than what the proclamation shared. And we'll have a couple of speakers on tonight in addition to Marvin and our allotted time frame. But I wanted to first thank Marvin for, let's see the screen shares.
And Joe, if you want to go ahead and Joe, if you want to show us sharing the screen.
Yeah, because my computer is everything's, they haven't let me get it finished in just a second. Okay, that should be good.
All right, yep, it is. All right, I think we got the screen share, Councilwoman.
Okay, so if you can start just the flag. So there could be photos scrolling in the background. I don't see them up yet, but hopefully they will start.
We got them all up. I saw pictures of you, from a.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm like, you guys are seeing it, because I'm not, but that's okay. So again, I just wanted to thank Marvin for his 4 decades of service to so many people who have benefited from rental housing, from homeownership opportunities, from the counseling, ownership counseling. As you all know, Del Norte administers the temporary rental and utility assistance program that many, many families are continuing to benefit from. And, you know, as the proclamation says, he established a very capable staff that has worked with him for all of these years in rolling out so many different opportunities for individuals and families.
You know where a great opportunity to become part of the community is? A housing encampment. You get to meet the most amazing people doing free labor, helping the least of us, because city council won't. But these people, the real heroes who make this town happen, you won't see them credited in any of these meetings ever.
Named as the incoming executive director, and so they're working towards a smooth transition to put her in a situation to fill his shoes, which are some big shoes to fill. And I wanted to also mention, and I don't know if you can see my little bee here, but this is actually for Marvin. Him and his husband Lee Esparza are beekeepers, and looking forward to enjoying some of the honey that comes out of their batches of honey making from his bees. But Marvin, it's just been a true honor to work side by side with you over these years that you have been Del Norte's executive director, and a lot has been accomplished. You've been an incredible leader in our community in the arena of housing, and I'm hoping that you're not going to be far away, because I anticipate that Del Norte will be called upon. I think it's full disclosure, you all have been on that board, but I think that there'll be plenty of opportunities where the phone is going to have to be picked up and said, hey, what about this, Marvin? We didn't know about this. So thank you again for your service, and just want to encourage my colleagues to support this tonight. Thank you, Madam President.
Very good. Thank you, Councilman Ortega, and I'm glad we were able to get the pictures up. Thank you, Joe, and I'm going to go ahead and ask you.
I want to address this that I just got on Twitter. Haters will make you famous. I don't want to be famous. I want to go home to my kids. I want to get the city government to a place where I can tune back out again and not have to worry about it. I'm not sure that day's going to be coming in my lifetime. It's definitely not going to be coming in the Hancock administration, and it's not going to be coming until we have more people backing up Candace Baca on the reg, not just on Monday nights, but every damn day of the week. That means y'all going to have to show up in between. You're going to have to care about the next electoral cycle. Care! What do you think really going to change with Trump out of office? He's still in it, y'all. This is the shit that matters. Where are you?
Thank you, Councilman Smith, and I'll go ahead and throw in my congratulations as well to you, Marvin. Really appreciate all of the work that you've done, and look forward to supporting this proclamation tonight. Madam Secretary, roll call, please.
Ortega. Aye. Sandoval. Aye. Sawyer. Aye. Torres. Aye. Black. Aye. Sierra. Aye. Clark.
Aye.
Flynn.
Aye.
Brendan.
Really? Get that stupid ass back on your head.
Aye.
Smith. Aye. Madam President.
Aye. Madam Secretary, close the voting and announce the result.
13 ayes.
13 ayes, proclamation 1466 has been adopted. We have 5 minutes for our proclamation acceptance. Councilwoman Ortega will start the 5-minute timer.
We have 5 minutes for proclamation, but none for the unhoused. We clearly have no time whatsoever for the most vulnerable in the middle of winter, in the middle of a pandemic, in the middle of an economic recession with the moratorium on evictions ending soon. By the way, did y'all know you have to opt in to eviction protection? You have to opt in to eviction protection. You don't just get it.
Okay, I just want to acknowledge that they're a long time.
Probably.
Collaborative working relationship with Marvin over many decades in addressing, as Councilwoman King said, housing policy issues. So I don't know which one of you wants to go first, but whatever. Ladies first, Veronica, why don't you go ahead and start?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know how to make myself appear, but anyway, I'll just say what I meant to. I want to thank and congratulate Marvin on his retirement from Del Norte. Denver owes Marvin huge recognition and acknowledgement for his production of affordable housing over the last 40 years that has addressed Denver's low-income areas' severe housing needs. Del Norte has been true to its mission throughout the years. Because of Marvin's leadership, numerous multi-family projects in North Denver have been developed that provide affordable housing and help preserve the neighborhood's historic structures. Marvin's legacy will live on in Denver. There are not many people that have impacted the housing industry like him. His legacy is in the West Side
which I must have that lubricates them, make them work a little bit longer. Put your leg up on something, does it really need to be any higher than this? Move your foot out, still stretching the groin, don't try to move your body, stay straight, and then turn back in. Out,
I did not have to
and then
think twice, it was Marvin.
That's
We
it.
have a million
And
memories.
do that on
and
the
times
side,
together.
it feels real nice.
And we'll create
It's still like a
many
stretch.
more. All the stories I could tell.
Toes in the same direction.
Marvin
Use
gave
one toe to the
myself
left.
in my lifetime. I wish Marvin would have
But don't try to push it towards it, because then it'll be
his
really
giving,
bad.
his caring, his kindness,
More
and his
is
love
not
for his
better.
community
Even
and
in
others.
capitalism,
Marvin's work has helped weave the
smile.
fabric
So,
that embodies the spirit, vision, and commitment to justice and equality. Thank you.
Let me see, Councilwoman, I think you're muted.
Just want to ask Dave if he can get on.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, my name is Dave. I have the distinct privilege of saying I have worked with Marvin, formed joint ventures, competed at times, and have come to appreciate his no-nonsense, straightforward approach and consider myself a good friend of Marvin. Marvin is one of those unique people that know how to make good trouble for good cause. He's a champion of community development. Marvin and a few of us all work at the University of Colorado Development Design Center in the United States as organizers and grew to become community builders and developers. Since then, many lives have been touched and assisted by Marvin's professional hard work and commitment. He has a compassionate heart, a genuine drive for equity and fairness. His contribution to his community has generational impact. He certainly improved his community as an outstanding leader in our community. While we're celebrating his retirement, I'm sure Marvin will find ways to continue generating his passion and his drive as he looks up to ventures. He's a deserving candidate for the recognition of respect this council is providing tonight. Marvin, thanks for all of your days and the future to come.
We would like you to make a few comments as well, and I just want to say, I wish you all the best of luck in your retirement, and again, thank you for your many years of service to Elmore and to the citizens of Denver. Go ahead, Marvin. Yes.
Thanks, Councilman Ortega, and thanks to the Denver City Council. I know you do a lot of things, but I'm very humbled by it. And, it's much appreciated. And as to my good friends, Veronica and Dave, they have always had my back. Appreciate it. And of course, I could not have done the work without my husband, Leah Sparsa. We've been together for 29 years, but we've only been married since April, the year of COVID. We thought the COVID year would be a good year to get married in case COVID struck us. So far, so good. And I'd also like to recognize my colleagues at the Great Development Collaborative and all the policy work. And so thank you so much. And I love the pictures with Debbie. They were 30 years old or more, and they are very interesting to me. Of course, Brian and I have stories to tell. I was like you said, they mostly involved Cuba, but those will stay between us. And Kate and I have been involved in a lot of different activities and a lot of different really meaningful to me proposals that we worked on when we were at the Center for Community Development sign. And again, I came together at the same time to work at the university. I moved on to Del Norte, but he moved on to Northeast Denver Housing Center. And as he said, we've been collaborating and competing ever since. So thank you also, Kate.
Thank you, Marvin, and I just want to give you a round of applause on behalf of me and my colleagues for all of your work. Thank you. Thank you, President.
Thank you, Councilman Ortega. Congratulations again, Marvin, on your retirement and on your marriage in 2020. It's been a big year, and I appreciate you being here and everyone else as well. So thank you. All right, next up, we have Councilman Flynn. Can you please read proclamation 1467 for us?
Certainly, Madam President, and how good it is to see Marvin and Veronica here. That's been a long time. Madam President, it is my sad honor to read proclamation 20-1467, honoring the life of Denver Councilwoman Kathy Reynolds. Whereas Kathy Reynolds, born Kathleen Blue Carter in Kansas City, Missouri, was elected in May 1975 as an at-large member of the Denver City Council, the first woman to be elected to this body. And whereas as a 16-year-old student at Shawnee Mission North High School in Overland Park, Kansas, Kathy met and dated 17-year-old Rick Reynolds. And they remained in love together throughout their lives, marrying in July 1965 and having two sons, Robert and Matthew. And whereas Kathy and Rick Reynolds moved to Denver in 1966, when Rick was hired by Denver Public Schools, and Kathy soon involved herself in politics, running unsuccessfully in the state legislature before winning her council seat in 1975, to which she was reelected in 1979, 1983, 1987, 1991, 1995, and 1999, coming in first each time, and ultimately serving the longest tenure of any council member in the history of the city, a public service spanning 28 years and 2 weeks. And whereas she was chosen by her colleagues to lead the council as president a record 4 terms and part of a 5th term, and as president pro tem a record 8 terms. And whereas her leadership abilities were tapped by numerous other organizations, including the Urban Drainage and Flood Control District Board, of which she served for all 28 years of her council tenure, and which she chaired for 23 consecutive years, the Colorado Municipal League, for which she served twice as president, and the National League of Cities, for which she served as president for 1 year. And whereas Kathy Reynolds was a leader in many other communities, state, and national organizations, including Colorado Counties Incorporated, Denver Regional Council of Governments, Denver Labor Relations Task Force, Denver Anti-Crime Council, the Justice Center Task Force, and the Denver Center for Applied Arts. And whereas her impact on Denver is unmistakable, with a policy legacy that includes leading roles in establishing stable funding sources for services for individuals with developmental disabilities, passing non-discrimination policies that continue to protect Denver citizens, banning certain types of assault, amending the city's most restrictive zones that have prevented unmarried or gay couples from Denver's most exclusive neighborhoods. And whereas Kathy Reynolds contributed to the quality of life in Denver by her participation in bringing Major League Baseball and National Hockey League to the city, building Metro Concert Hall and Colorado Convention Center and its associated hotel, the new Broncos Stadium, Coors Field, the Pepsi Center, now Ball Arena, and Denver International Airport. And whereas a leader among leaders, Kathy Reynolds earned numerous awards for her public service, including a Colorado AIDS Project Leadership Recognition Award, a Friend of the River Award for the Platinum Greenway Foundation, and induction into the Colorado Tourism Hall of Fame. And whereas upon term limits in 2003, Kathy Reynolds continues to contribute to the city and county of Denver by serving as a charter member of both the Citizens Oversight Board and the Convention Center Hotel Board. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the Council of the City and County of Denver, Section 1, the Council of the City and County of Denver mourns the loss of one of its most notable members, recognizes her numerous accomplishments, and honors her continuing legacy. Section 2, that the clerk of the City and County of Denver shall attest and affix the seal of the City and County of Denver to this proclamation, and that a copy shall be delivered to Rick Reynolds.
Thank you, Councilman Flynn. Your motion to adopt?
I move that the Council Proclamation 20-1467 be adopted.
Second.
Thank you. It has been moved and seconded. Comments by members of council? Councilmember Flynn.
Thank you, Madam President. I would like to defer my comments until after those of Councilman Ortega. For sponsoring this meeting, Councilman Ortega will equal Councilwoman Reynolds in tenure, although discontinuous. Councilwoman Ortega served with that for 16 years and was serving with Kathy Reynolds at the time before she returned in 2011. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. If I may,
Please go ahead.
okay. So you heard me make a few comments last week when we learned he's passing, and it came in as a sad shock to learn about that. But I just have to tell you, such a joy serving with Kathy Reynolds, and I learned so much from her. She was a role model. She was a mentor, and I learned that it's okay to be an assertive woman, which Kathy was not afraid to do. She wasn't mean-spirited. She was just very firm about the things that she believed in, and she was a true collaborator and worked very closely with all of our colleagues. And I also wanted to share briefly a couple of comments. I had an opportunity to talk with former Mayor Federico Pena, who was our mayor from 1983 to 1991. And during that entire time, Kathy was an at-large member. And his comments were that she was always very hardworking at any of the issues that she worked on. She was very well prepared, and she always worked to find common ground with her colleagues and with the administration on the kinds of often interface with different city agencies. She was very active in the planning that I was involved with in the Central Platte Valley, as well as the creation of the Older Downtown Historic District. And she served on the airport negotiations with Adams County at the time that we were crafting that agreement that was brought forward that allowed the vote to take place in Denver County as well as in Adams County. And so he wanted to acknowledge her contributions and extend his condolences to her husband, Rick. And with that, I see that Spokesman Flynn has no comments. So, Rick, I hope that you are listening, sending lots of love to you and your family as you continue to deal with Kathy no longer being around, but she leaves a true legacy to this city for her many, many contributions to her work in the city of California. She loved the city, and her footprint is left all over the place. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilwoman Ortega. Councilman Flynn.
Thank you, Madam President. And yes, Councilman Ortega, as I recall, the Pena administration was not too pleased that the city council put the airport on the ballot in Denver because that was not a necessary referendum. But there was an anti-airport movement that's being born, and Councilman Pryor, Councilman Reynolds, and Councilman Ortega, I don't know where you were on that vote, but you voted to put it on the ballot here in Denver after Adams County voted to let us annex the land. That was a very contentious process, and she was very in the middle of it. I do want to mention, when I say that Abby Reynolds was the first woman to be elected to the council of factors, and another one was elected the same year as Kathy Duncan. And I hope she's watching, who's just as fierce in many ways, serving I think 20 years before she joined the Veterans Administration. Kathy Reynolds being elected at large was certified in May, because there's no at large run for Kathy Duncan, who was District 10, and she had to have a runoff before she was certified. We're both sworn in on the same day. Since that election, the first 2 women to be elected in 1975, I just want to make note that there have been 56 people elected in this body since that election. More than half of them since that point have been women. 31 of the 56 women. Kathy had served alongside 38 other individuals. Southeast Asia. It's less than Councilman Reynolds, charter that he located the terms on members on council. The only other thing I'll share, because I think I'm talking too long on this. Tim Sanders, former Councilman Sanders, served at large for one term with Kathy, 91 to 95, and his father was serving in District 3. Tim was at large and told me in rare businesses after Kathy passed that at one point he was waxing out a little bit, as I'm trying to do, not too successfully, about some bill he had sponsored and was going to come up with a vote and on before council. And pretty soon he got a notice passed on to Councilwoman Reynolds, and the vote was talking, and said, right now you have 7 votes. Keep talking and we'll have 6. So with that, Madam President, I will shut up and allow the vote to proceed, and we'll hear from there. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Flynn. Up you have Councilman Stevens.
Thank you, Madam President, and thank you to my colleagues for bringing this proclamation forward. I do not have the length of relationship with former Councilwoman Reynolds that the two of you did, but I did get to know her during my first run for office back in 2010, 2011. And I was proud to have earned her endorsement, and I say earned because she had a lot of questions for me, wanted to understand how I would approach things, and she had a lot of input for me. And so one particular thing that I remember was her talking about the fact that the at-large seat, things like human services or corrections that don't necessarily have a district constituency, that the at-large seat, is responsible for picking up and paying attention to some of those things that can be harder for a district council member who constantly has site-based or district-based things coming at them. And so, in my first year and a half in office, one of the first things I ran was a child care amendment to the budget. We didn't have to amend the budget. We worked with the mayor for a letter to get funding for child care at a time when the wait list was long and people were being turned away. And that was kind of happy runs in my ear, thinking about families and children. The other thing I just wanted to on, several years ago, this council really, celebrated the history of the path to LGBTQ equality in the city. And, it was just striking as we were reconstructing history. Everyone knew about Amendment 2 at the state of Colorado. Some people knew that, there was a vote before that, but what people maybe didn't know is about the local ordinance that got, put to the voters in Denver. Denver voters actually had to vote to affirm the ordinance that Councilman Reynolds put forward. And so leaders like Pat Stedman, who's been around forever, the name off their list, were some of the attorneys involved, Pat Reynolds. And I just, being the first member who was out from this community to be elected, I always felt that special feeling like Councilman Reynolds started this journey in Denver that made it possible for me to get elected in kind of a no big deal kind of way, right? So something that, straight allies really had to fight that battle. But there weren't out members of this council to make it possible for some of the accommodations and hiring and employment and housing, all the equality. So for me, I will always feel this special appreciation for the doors that she opened. Similarly for people with developmental disabilities, right? So she
And I, despite your identity, will always question your allyship due to your alliance with the DPD. Needs to be said.
So if you didn't hear from them, do know that some of us did, and I appreciated it every time I heard from her, because she still had good insights. As recently as last year, I was hearing from her on city issues. So thank you again.
Don't sleep on her. She's Jared Post, and she's running for mayor.
Because we know that it is a family effort.
Yeah.
So we appreciate you as well.
She started referencing her wife more often. She has been leading conversations with DPD with their contract negotiations. They thanked her personally, thanked her first. I'm just like,
Oh, God.
it's happening.
Interesting. I didn't hear.
Did you see they locked me out? They locked me out. Did you see this shit? Oh, I'll put it on. I haven't been bad. Y'all ain't seen bad. So no. I behaved.
Flynn.
Aye.
Cortina.
Sorry, I missed to change another guard. They change every hour, so swap it. He's another one of the good ones.
I only have a one. Sawyer.
Now, you got
And don't swap. I need like at least, a year.
They hung out here long enough. Like, you made them all.
Aye. Clark.
Aye.
So yeah, her wife runs the one of the charitable trusts for the unhoused, which is
Kenich. Aye.
it's just gross. Sharon call us all over again.
Aye.
Yep.
Madam Secretary, close the voting and announce the results.
13 ayes.
13 ayes, proclamation 1467 has been adopted. We've got 5 minutes for a proclamation acceptance, and Councilmember Flynn, would you like to introduce who will accept the proclamation?
Thank you, Madam President. Yes, Rick Reynolds is here, and I've had the opportunity to talk to him a couple of times since Kathy passed away. Invited him to be here to share a few words, and so Rick is already in the room. Rick, welcome, and can't wait to hear from you.
You can go ahead, Mr. Reynolds, I believe we have you off the meeting.
I hit the button that says raise hand. Can you see me?
We can't see you, sir. You might have to look at the bottom left-hand corner and see if you see the video there next to the unmute button.
I see, it says my name and then a blank space.
Yep, I'm going to ask to start your video here.
Okay.
There you go. We see.
Oh, there I am. Okay. I could go on forever about Kathy. We only dated 4 years, and then we were married for 55, so, but to keep it short, and I taught for all those years, so I could go on at least 45 minutes. So I'm going to keep it short by reading something. I hope you forgive me for not ad-libbing. On behalf of Kathy's family and her myriad friends and colleagues and former colleagues here throughout Colorado and across the nation, I thank you for recognizing and honoring Kathy's impact both in and outside Denver. I hope you continue to honor her by emulating her attitude toward the council and Denver. She would coach you to disagree with each other on issues, but do so with respect. Be sure you count to 7. Lead by example. Remember that the city and its people are more important than you are. You will win if you stick around long enough. Always ask these questions. What's the real problem? What specifically do you want to do about it? How much will it cost? Who will pay for it? Who will solve the problem? Will it solve the problem? And if it will solve the problem, will it worth the cost? Always remember that expenditures of both time and money
developers
is one issue.
for the
Takes time and money away from
We're
other
gonna
issues.
pay for it. Well, they basically
Now for the
get
real
taxed.
culprits. When the city was asking for bids for the convention center
So
hotel, 4 Hilton executives came to Denver to make their pitch. They met with the president of city council, the director of borough, the mayor's chief of staff, and the director of planning. One of them said something like, "Hello, ladies, where's the A-team?" Hyatt got the contract. Treat each other fairly and socialize. Years ago, members really knew each other. Council spouses were friends. Our kids all knew each other. Being on council was fun for her. And thank you so much for remembering her. I always will. Thank you.
Thank you, Rick. Much appreciated. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, council members Flynn and Ortega, and Mr. Reynolds, please accept our sincere condolences and know that we will carry forward the words that you just shared and all of her accomplishments over the many years. And so we hope your memories will help you through this time, sir.
She loved you guys.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Well, I'm glad that we were able to honor such a wonderful leader in our city. And just a reminder that Proclamation 1468 has been placed on consent, and we're to the bills for introduction. Madam Secretary, please read the bills for introduction.
From Finance and Governance, 2013-64, a bill for an ordinance making a supplemental appropriation in the Human Services Special Revenue Fund. 2013-71, a bill for an ordinance authorizing expenditures in the Human Services Special Revenue Fund based on a letter of intent from the state of Colorado to award funding to the city and county of Denver for the Community Services Block Grant Program for the 2021 program year. From Safety, Housing, Education, and Homelessness, 20-854, a bill for an ordinance approving a proposed third amendatory agreement between the city and
What
county
they're
of Denver
referring right now
and
is stuff that came from the committees.
to provide services
Like
to
I was saying, it just, it ends up
access to
doing
healthy, affordable.
The decisions are already made. And
2013-21, a bill for an ordinance approving a proposed fifth amendatory agreement between the city and county of Denver and school district number 1, Corridor 2013-51, a bill for an ordinance approving a proposed eighth amended and restated intergovernmental agreement between the city and county of Denver and the city of Sheridan to add funds and extend the term. And 2013-77, a bill for an ordinance approving a proposed second mandatory agreement between the city and county of Denver and the Denver Urban Renewal Authority by modifying the scope of working budget to assist the Department of Public Health and Environment with administering the lead-based paint hazard control grant program.
Madam Secretary, Council members, this is your last opportunity to call out an item. Councilwoman Ortega, will you make the motions for us this evening?
Yes, happy to do so.
Thank you. We'll do a recap. Under resolutions, Councilman Flynn has called out Council Resolution 1374 for questions. Councilwoman Sadavaca has called out Council Resolution 1354 for questions and 1356 for a vote. And Councilwoman Sawyer has called out Resolution 1416 for a vote. Under bills for introduction, Councilwoman Torres has called out Council Bill 1364 for questions. Under bills for final consideration, no items have been called out. Under pending, no items have been called out. And the first item up is Council Resolution 1374. Councilman Flynn, please go ahead with your question.
Thank you, Madam President. I think Andy Zakaris is in the room. Dan is also in Dan Holcott. And I emailed them the questions ahead of time so we could actually have a productive discussion here in the public. This is the new system that will manage the new campaign finance reporting rules and the Fair Elections Fund in this current cycle where we already are. And so I saw this coming through. I just want to make sure that it covers everything that this initiative was planning to introduce. So could Andy maybe explain briefly how this system will improve complete campaign finance reporting, tracking, and transparency, and how is it different from the system we now use, to which I added to my questions. Thank God that it's different than this clunky system we're using right now. Andy?
Sure, can you hear me?
Yes.
Great. Yeah, it does do a number of different items. It is a substantially more robust and dynamic set of tools for both the public and internally for the city and the users. It will have an ability to have a number of search-driven tools, and these tools will allow the clerk's office and the public to track donors across numerous campaigns, expenses, and other data which currently, as you well know, if you wanted to, would have to dig through individual PDFs across numerous months and filing deadlines to find. And this tool will also give us different queries of the data, so public, the journalism community, and the city can really see who's given to what campaigns, who spent what, who's spending on behalf of initiatives and expenditures. And it will also assist us in any major audits or individual audits, and a lot more in-depth knowledge of spending and raising funds from which donors.
One of the primary improvements that you mentioned there that struck me was the ability to do a search across multiple campaign committees, whether candidate committees or issue committees, on a single search term, which, as you said, now we have to go one by one, correct?
Correct. This will allow you to put in, say, my name, and you'd be able to see if I've been into any campaigns, all campaigns, what initiatives, and as well as disclosure, so you can see who's been paid by what. And our current system doesn't allow us to capture independent expenditures or electioneering communications, so we've had to do a workaround. It should be noted that the last full-time tech support staff member that serviced this program has left the city for retirement, so we're sort of patching it together with this little new system.
That shows, by the way. It's, as you know, very clunky, and I don't know how old it is, but that raises a question about the map like that. I'm sorry, this wasn't included in my questions this afternoon, but since you mentioned it, is this going to be customized for us? I know MapLight has used this system in California, but we have some particular requirements. Are we on a bleeding edge here? What are the risks as we develop this specifically for us?
So this system, it will be customized for all of our individual groups, especially to implement individual donor tracking for public matching funds. But it is built on a platform that runs all of California's municipal and state elections, so they have about 100 million contributions a cycle. So it is built, customized for us, but they're a long time supplier for a number of municipalities, so it's not a sort of it's not a box plus customization program for us, but it will align for all of these for auditing and the disbursements and the donor matching for the election.
And when you talk about matching, Andy, this will have the capability of determining if a donor has donated $50, which is the maximum that can be matched from the public funds, and then maybe in the next reporting period donates another $50 to that candidate that is no longer eligible. This system will be able to flag that and say, we already matched that on a prior report, correct?
Correct. It'll do that. Each individual donor will receive a specific record, so we'll be able to see at any point when they give. And there's internal flags that will alert both the campaign before they submit it and us, so we can audit it.
Thank you, Madam President. Just one more question, Andy. Will this system be able to assist us in the task of calling back unspent public matching funds post-election that remain and need to be returned to the Fair Elections Fund rather than retained in the candidate committees?
Yes, it will. So this will have a feature of all receipts will have to have an image uploaded to them. So we'll be able to see one when the receipt was processed, as well as each individual receipt will have a code attached that there are certain things not allowed to be sent through taxpayer dollars. So we'll know that, as well as we'll know exactly when they spend the money, so we will have an exact record of when they come back. One thing just to add, all of the donors that request to be submitted for a match will be matched against the GIS, so we'll know within the city if they are a resident who submitted that contribution.
Thank you. Yeah, that's always been a concern because of zip codes and things that aren't really clear. Are you in Denver or you're not in Denver? I personally, I have a Littleton zip code, although I'm in the city and county, believe me, actually. So looking forward to that. The other last thing, Madam President, so I congratulate and thank the clerk's office, Andy and Dan, and Clerk Lopez for all the work they put into this. This is a brand new system with a brand new ordinance, and to implement this through the system, I'm looking forward very much to seeing this work unfold. Thank you, Andy. That's all I have right now.
All right, thank you, Councilman Blair and Andy. Next up, we have Council Resolution 1354. Councilman Sandoval, please go ahead with your question.
Thank you, Madam President. Is there anybody here from MHCD?
Good evening. This is Jeff Hawley from DDPHE. There are members present from MHCD. I would respectfully request that you promote Marissa Vandover so that she can respond to the question.
Good.
Can you hear me? Yes, awesome. Hi. A little bit of context for why I rolled this out. I had a constituent who happens to be an MHCD employee that needed rental assistance. And so I had this conversation with a full-time employee not being able to keep up with their rent, and it got me interested and concerned about our contracts. And so I started digging a little bit to find out, how does this happen with this org? Is there a pay scale? How do I understand pay equity in this organization? And I stumbled upon the 990s on the website and found that the CEO of this organization makes over $730,000 a year, while our MHCD frontline workers are calling for rental assistance. And so I have questions primarily focused around pay equity in the organization. And I'm wondering if
Councilman Federer, I would love for you to keep your questions on the resolution 1354, so that we could follow up as far as.
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that?
Their pay scale isn't part of this resolution.
Well, then that's a good place to start. What exactly does this contract pay for, and are staff part of what this pays for?
Jeff, you might be a better person to answer that. Yes, there are staffing costs that are in the contract. There are a number of positions that will be funded. We have a program manager that will be on site, actually 2 of them, and we have many line staff that will be on site, and the funding does cover the their salaries, just to speak more specifically to what's in the contract.
What is the average salary at the school pay?
I don't know that off the top of my head. We have a wide range of positions that will be at the Solution Center. We have some positions that, MHCD has never had before. And we have a variety of mental health related positions for licensed clinicians and residential counselors and things like that. If that's something that you guys want to know, I can find out what the average rate of pay is for staff at the Solution Center, but it's not something I have in front of me right now.
Beyond just the average pay, do you guys have a pay scale?
Yes. So our positions, everybody at MHCD that's not in management or above are all union employees, and so the rates of pay are determined by our union.
Is that public information? Is the pay scale public?
Not that I know of. I don't think I've seen it posted. Chris, I'd ask you now offhand if that's public information. That's just shaking your head, so it's not published.
If it's possible, I would love to see a copy. I'm wondering if this contract pays for anybody above the frontline workers and particularly management and leadership.
Okay, I can find out more about that, but I would say not that I know of. I know that part of my salary is allocated for the Solution Center. So I'm the Associate Director of Crisis Services, and I supervise our mobile crisis contract. I also supervise our walk-in center, which is our walk-in crisis center. And then part of my salary is allocated at the Solution Center, as I will be there on site about 60% of the time to assist with managing a 24/7 clinic. But I do not believe that anybody else above me is allocated for in the Solution Center. Does that sound correct to you, Beth?
Actually, there are several positions, including physician staff, nursing staff. Councilwoman, what I'd like to do is for you to please send me your request for what you'd like to know, because we have a union, this is sensitive, and we need to make sure that we follow all the union guidelines for releasing this type of information, and we're going to do so.
That's right, Robert.
So if you'd like to send that written request to me, I can give you my email address if you're writing that down. Yes. It is Beth, BEH, Coleman, COLEMAN,
Thank you for that. And I will send that right now. I would love the up-to-date detail, as well as a detailed explanation of what this contract is for. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Councilman, and thank you for the staff answering the questions. The next item up we have is Council Resolution 1356. Councilwoman Martinez, will you please put Resolution 1356 on the floor for adoption? We've got you muted.
Okay, just hit the button. Madam President, I move that Council Resolution 20-1356 be adopted.
So, I hate that, Robert. I hate it.
Members of council, Councilman Sid.
Thank you, Madam President. Just wanted to make sure that we do a little count on this one. I received over 150 communications this weekend requesting that we either split this up and have separate contracts for the tasers and separate for the body cam, or that we do not approve this tonight. That we should be waiting. People requested for us to wait until we have a report from the independent monitor investigating the use of the tools that we currently have, and so I want to go on record as a move for this evening.
All right, thank you, Councilman. Councilman Flynn.
Thank you, Madam President. I just want to make note for folks that as a result, particularly of Senate Bill 217 this year, it's a requirement that we have body cameras. The current contract we have is already expired in June. And so to not approve this contract, it was out of compliance with the state statute that all of us supported. The upgrade in the cameras that they're currently using are 5 years old and they have poor quality, particularly at night. The new cameras are actually a minor cost of the contract. The new cameras have much better video quality at night under low light conditions.
Me too.
Again, we're required to have that. And the major part of the cost is the storage, which is managed by the vendor. So putting down this contract will give us not only out of compliance, state law, but will also give us an outright access to video that the state can be by the existing body cameras. So that requires all of us to support them to store the system. Thank you.
President, I actually have some questions since this is order someone to answer. I'll just ask it and you can decide to direct to. So we had heard in public comment that people saying that the body cameras had never led to charge or conviction. I'm wondering if anyone can comment on that. That seems a little interesting interesting to me. Doesn't mean that it's true or untrue, so someone else can provide some context.
Great, it looks like we have Chief Peterson queued up, if that's correct. Answer that question, and I just want to remind folks as well, if we can stay on the topic of the actual resolution and the contract. Much appreciated. We've got 3 public hearings. That's the
Madam President, Councilman Hines, again, the purpose of the body camera is to document the incident. The purpose is not for conviction, it's to document the incident, use that as evidence. If the evidence supports a conviction, then that's what the video evidence itself. Saying that
yes or no?
The fact that this that's not the purpose of the body. Okay, and I wonder also, this vendor is not from Colorado. I don't think they're even based in the United States. That's a huge deal if we don't have a vendor that can perform the service in Denver. Do you know if there is a local based vendor that could perform the service? So we did look at we looked at different vendors 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, and again, based on estimated evaluating different body cameras, this is the one that met our needs. To unbundle something like this would be extremely difficult. Just it's a workflow issue with the data and the video storage. When we're talking about documenting the incident, we share this information with the district attorney on criminal cases.
No, you don't. Only the ones that are referred. Only the ones that they refer for investigation from the district attorney. If you've been here for a while, you know that that is 3 last year. 3.
No, there's not a way to upgrade the current EWC tube. Newer cameras better video footage, better coverage of low light situations as well rapidly evolving situations. So, I guess the best analogy that I could give you would be a cell phone. Obviously, there's cell phone upgrades, including cameras on cell phone, that have taken place, and upgrades in technology. It's not just purchasing a cell phone and you can have unlimited data, it is the service plan that goes with it. So that's an analogy that may help understand the costs associated with this, and then to try to put it into context is that 37 terabytes of data that needs to be handled, to document when an officer handles 20 calls for service in a day, and specific date, specific time when a individual arrests or to document the evidence in a particular case, being able to retrieve that exact file for the district attorney or the city attorney. That's where a lot of the complexities in this type of data storage and management takes place.
Thank you, Chief. One other thing before asking about training. I noticed the contract there is a component of training, and it appears that there are also some VR headsets for, I think the contract calls for community training. Can you talk a bit about the training component associated with this contract? And can you talk about what is this, what is it, what is VR training?
So, Councilman, this is something that both the Denver Sheriff's Department and the Denver Police Department really believe in. Sheriff Liggins talks about leading with our humanity. We want to be more, we want our officers and deputies to be more empathetic when engaging with our.
We'll see you at the streets at 5 a.m.
Right.
This is at 5 a.m. So much humanity.
This is a technology upgrade.
Suck him.
Us in that endeavor from resolving a potentially challenging situation and de-escalating it, one from the officer's perspective. If you can utilize that exact same scenario from the individual who's in crisis perspective for that empathetic view. That's something that is also a part of this.
Is it possible for the public to see that kind of training, or to see to have access to training or something along those lines?
ABC News did a story on this, national news, and I'll get you on that.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you for being on the sheriff is also here. Thank you for taking all the questions. And the last question I have is about what happens in cases, cases that become back on. What happens if there continues to be, when that I think is the change they're going to make, or what if the company is purchased? I guess two questions. Right now, the 37 current. If the company is purchased, who owns the 37?
So, City Attorney's Office, you want to weigh in? It's my understanding that the City of Denver owns the. That's spelled out very explicitly in the contract that if another country, another company comes in and purchases a parent company that then will retain it. Steve?
Hi, this is Steve Bond, the City Attorney's Office. In answer to that question, who owns the data? It's very clear in the contract, the City County member owns the data, which is primarily, well, almost exclusively video footage. If the contract were assigned to someone else, those contractual provisions would carry over. The City and County of Denver would continue to own 37 terabytes of data.
So there's no way for Exxon or some other company, while they have been storing data, they're not they can't use it for their own purposes, they can't publish snippets of any of that video or associated matter.
That's correct. If they did that, as I did last week, it'd be in breach of the agreement.
Okay, thank you, thank you, Chief, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Councilman Torres.
Thank you, Madam President. Hello, City Council. My questions are probably more for Chief Hazen. Chief, if there's someone. Okay. The funding request total, maybe this is, I'm hoping you know this. The funding request total, if this is not a supplemental funding request, is it, or is this using the existing 2020 funding for the departments?
You are correct. This is not a supplemental request.
Yes, absolutely. Good evening, members of council, Laura Wonder, Deputy Director of Safety. So this is subject to the annual appropriation within the general fund budget. And we currently do have a budget within the police and sheriff general fund budget in 2021.
The 1.1 million of this contract was for a main invoice. Why was that overdue or not paid, and what was it for beyond the original contract?
Yes, thank you for that question. So we had originally started all of the contract amendments and the extension of the contract back in January, but due to complications with COVID as well as understanding the Senate Bill 217 and incorporating sheriff into the contract, those conversations occurred throughout the summer. And so that 1.1 million, we were invoiced in May for the additional body cameras in the police department. Roughly 800 body cameras in the original contract to 870. So that was all just part of the police body camera contract.
Okay, thank you, Laura. So Chief, I don't have an issue in Sheriff Davis with the body worn camera request, but I do have a couple questions about tasers, which are 3.6 million of the request. Are our use of tasers part of the requirements of Senate Bill 217? How long has DPD been using tasers?
We've been using tasers for nearly a decade.
Okay. Have we, well, in Denver, I know nationally we've seen deaths from taser use. Have we seen any in Denver?
I have not seen any instances where tasers have been caused of death or worse.
Okay. And then have we done a race urgency assessment of taser deployment?
So our use of force, and this was something that one of the use of force committee members brought forward. We publish on our website all of the use of force, including the demographics of the officer and the demographic of the individual that force we are used on. And that is published annually on or before February 1st of the following.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Those are my questions.
All right, thank you, Councilwoman. Next, we have Councilman Clinton.
I have a question, just want to close with a few things. Chief Hazen, is it the case that the new camera, this new upgrade, includes a feature that will automatically start the video, assuming the officer has the right start? Will start the camera when either the taser or the firearm is close to the body of the officer?
Correct, Councilman, and I want to make sure that we're really clear on this, and thanks for bringing this up. Again, the city of Denver, the system, and all in 2019, for example, we had over 600,000 interactions with our community and calls for service, and a fraction of a percent, the officer forgot to turn on 34 instances out of the entire 622,000 potential calls for service here. What this additional technology does is it serves as a fail. It doesn't change the policy. Officers still required to turn them on per policy to include the arrest of evidence, all of the stated purposes of body worn cameras. This is an additional feature that essentially works as a fail-safe.
Correct.
Those most critical situations, we don't want that to be a small fraction of a percent where an officer would need those to capture body worn system or that accountability or what our commanding witness teacher 17 is required to make sure that those are captured.
Yeah, thank you, Chief. So to be clear, because some of the email that you were getting was a singular email that was being sent to us by dozens of volunteers. Contract actually is. The policy is always that the camera is on when there's public interaction. It's not the case that we only use the camera when a taser or firearm is holstered. Correct?
You said that correctly.
Right. Okay. The reason I asked that, my question was to address Councilman Hines' question about whether we could split the contract up between the cameras and the tasers. And because of this interaction, I would suggest that that would not be a very good thing to do, if it were possible, if we want that functionality. The cost of the 16 million averages out over 5 years to about $3.2 million per year, Laura. And I assume what you're saying is that this is subject to appropriation each year of that annual amount, that we're not fronting the entire 16 million next year. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Thank you. And just to correct one other misstatement that was in the email we got was repeated here. There was at least one case that I know of personally where an officer.
Katie, I know you're watching. One of my protest kids. What I'm looking for right now and struggling with is on August the 5th, DA Beth McCann gave a presentation about police accountability to the Committee on Safety and Houselessness. And they keep the files up, but I can't find the presentation. It was on the website and I downloaded it, but I can't find it. If you can find it before I do, let me know. And yes, Marvin Booker did die from a taser while in police custody.
At the conclusion of 2023, we expect that all deputies that have either open interaction or who work in custody will be allocated both by camera. The communication team does call for both of those in subsection B of Section 192 of that area specifically states that anytime there's an anticipated use of force, that deputy has on camera and is more aware of that can happen at any time with our staff. So
Thank you. I can't find it. I'm like, that's what I've been looking for this whole time because I've got all those numbers in case people forget because they all forget.
Down this contract, it puts out of compliance with state law, so I urge all the colleagues to do this.
But it was definitely August the 5th. I'm finding my old tweets.
Yeah, thank you, Madam President, and just wanted to clarify that last comment. We already are in compliance with 217. This is upgrading cameras, and so I'm curious for Chief Hazen, how many cameras do we currently have that we're retiring as we purchase this new technology, and what happens to those old cameras?
So, Councilman, the cameras that we currently have are ending their service life, and they will be returned to the vendor as we get the new cameras.
Yes, he did.
And so, how many is that? How many are we retiring and how many are we getting online?
So the requirement is that every officer, and again, this is built out in compliance with 217 to get us all of our officers the body cameras that they need. Let me just go backwards for a second. This is not just using this amount of money to go from
purchasing a phone. So if you purchase a phone, it doesn't mean that you make phone calls or stream video or send text messages. that service plan, that data agreement. So much of the cost associated with this is associated to that data agreement. And the upgrade is just part and parcel of the contract itself.
Do you have numbers of how many body cameras you're retiring and how many new ones are coming online? Do you have an itemized breakdown of the cost for the cameras, the tasers, and the
Of course not.
evidence.com service?
Why would they know a detail like that?
The tasers and the evidence.com service.
Amended contract itself, data storage, the workflow process here, do not have that breakdown.
Do they just break down those costs, or is that just something you don't have?
Do they just break down those costs, or is that just something you don't have in front of you?
So again, I can't emphasize enough about the data aspect of this agreement is about data accessing everything itself.
And a quick clarification, SB 217 requires broadly that the activation of body cameras in any service call or any interaction with the public happens by 2023. Did you say that we're already complying with that, or do they only turn on when a weapon is unholstered?
Or do they only turn on when weapon is unholstered?
Activating on those
The other witnesses are also reviewed and reported down.
It talks about the activation the issue would be we do this
Decision letter to
the issue we have the data, we have a body worn camera, we have the camera itself, we're not able to have the things that so can't stress enough.
Actually been
going from the old camera to the new camera. Access that officer respond to calls for service to being able to access the system call that's where that workflow, able to access that and utilize the evidence body worn camera.
And how about the tasers? How many are we retiring and replacing, or does this just add, and how many does it add?
Are we retiring and replacing, or does this just add?
Chief, I can answer that one. We are currently replacing 1,000 tasers in 2021.
Got it. And do we anticipate upgrading any other weapons within the next year?
Got it. And do we anticipate upgrading any other
There's
weapons?
nothing else in this contract.
So just this contract, we're just upgrading tasers.
Within this
So
contract.
just this contract, we're just upgrading tasers.
Thank you.
Councilwoman. Councilman Flynn, you back up?
Thank you.
Madam President, I just wanted to make it really clear that yes, we would be out of compliance with 17 without this contract.
Found it, you guys.
Subsequent connection, saying we would have cameras, but we would not have the ability to use the video, which is frankly the more crucial part. Having a camera, they have nothing with the point is, that's the action on that Axon gives us in this contract. And as of now, the contract expires in June, so technically we already lack that. But so I hope that we all have that.
Very good. Thank you, Councilman Flynn. Councilman Hines, we'll be back up, but we're doubling back and we belabored this quite a bit last week. And so hope you've got a quick question here and we can go ahead and vote on this.
Never mind, Madam President.
Okay, you can see it. I just put it on Twitter. As of August the 5th, the DA's office had only received 3 officer-involved shooting referrals for the year. 8 Let me go back and read this, make sure I don't screw it up. In 2018, 6 were referred out of internal investigations at the DPD for prosecution. 6. In 2019, there were 10. And in 2020, as of August, only 3. For excessive force
Ortega.
or officer-involved shootings.
Sandoval.
3 as of August.
Aye. Sawyer. Aye. Torres. Aye. Black.
Aye.
Torres. Madam President.
Aye. Madam Secretary, close the voting and announce the results.
2 nays, 11 ayes.
11 ayes, Council Resolution 1356 has been adopted. The next item.
There you go. They get tasers. So they can kill more Marvin Bookers.
Woman Ortega, would you please put Resolution 1416?
And not be prosecuted.
Madam President, I move
Thank you, Beth McCann.
Resolution 20-1416 is adopted.
Been moved and seconded. Questions or comments by members of council? Councilwoman Sawyer. All right. I just want to make sure.
Now, got about 15 screens happening here. Give me just 1 second. Let me pull up my next screen. Thanks so much.
Let me pull up my next screen.
Hang on.
Thanks so much.
There we go. Okay, thanks so much for your patience. I really appreciate that. So I called this out for a vote because I'm going to be a no vote tonight. I spoke to Chief Fulton and David Foster of 858 tonight, and we talked through my reasons, which are mostly just consistency. I'm incredibly grateful for all that our firefighters do and the relationship that we have with them, and I don't mean to belittle or demean that in any way. And I want to thank every single one of the brave individuals that our fire department, in our fire department, are putting their lives on the line for. However, just like the police protective union contract, this MOU includes raises, and given the city's financial status, I just can't support that. While I recognize that this is a different circumstance because Local 858 was already owed raises under the terms of their contract, I am just not comfortable giving one set of employees raises while others seek pay cuts during an unprecedented financial and public health crisis. Council staff and Denver's career service employees were furloughed this year, and they'll be furloughed again next year. And let's be honest, a furlough is a pay cut. All members of this council except one gave back our raises and salaries for those furlough days in solidarity with our coworkers. And I will commit to doing that again next year. But no raises means no raises. And so in the interest of fairness and on principle and consistency, I cannot support this MOU, just like I did not support the PPA contract. So I'm going to be a no vote tonight on this, and I just wanted to go on record and say that. Thanks so much, Madam President.
All right, thank you, Councilman Sawyer. Councilman Herndon.
Thank you, Madam President. I will be in support of this. I'm going to remind my colleagues that this is different circumstances than with BPA and sheriffs because Local 858 is not going to come forward to negotiate, but recognize that this is challenges that the city was in. They wanted to be a partner and recognize that they to as well make some
What the fuck is he doing?
So I applaud them for doing that. If we vote this down, then their current contract will remain in effect, and the current contract will give them a salary increase next year, and we will use the savings that we're going to get with this contract to improve its money. So, once again, thank those at 858 for coming forward. If you both my colleagues to support this today, as I will. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Councilman Herndon. Madam Secretary, roll call.
Thank you, Councilman.
Sawyer.
No.
Torres.
Aye.
Black.
Aye.
Cedabaca.
Aye.
Clark.
Aye.
Flynn.
Aye.
Aye.
They're stripping them of benefits. They're stripping them of health care after retirement. Our firefighters.
Kinich.
The I vote is to not.
Ortega.
It's to not strip, correct.
Sandoval.
Aye.
Aye.
Ortega.
Madam President.
Aye. Madam Secretary, close the voting and announce the results.
1 nay, 12 ayes.
Aye.
12 ayes, council resolution 1416 has been adopted. The next item up is Council Bill 1364. Councilwoman Torres, please go ahead with your questions on Council Bill 1364. Thank you so much, Madam President. Perhaps Lauren Harvey is Yes, hi Lauren. So I just wanted to go through a couple of the questions. I was able to email you these earlier, so you had a sense of what they were going to be. But because we didn't get to see this come through committee, because it was over the holiday week, I have questions about what's been spent so far in terms of rental and eviction assistance, and how DHS is distributing this money, and additionally, what does DHS consider to be eviction assistance?
Thank you so much, Councilman Torres, and I do appreciate you sharing some of your questions ahead of time. So pertaining to our general assistance program, within that bucket, the amount of money that has been spent on the evictions and rental assistance through October of 2020 is $625,131. And we did see a sharp uptake, especially in September and October, which we believe has to do with some COVID-related issues. And we anticipate that continuing through November and December, which is why we wanted to request a supplemental to get out as much assistance as possible to folks. We also, we do have that broken out into a few different specific assistance under that, but to your question, the way that it's paid out is through direct payments to the landlord in those cases when it's a rental or eviction assistance for a rental. And can you remind me of what your last question was? Sorry about that.
Right, how DHS is distributing both the rental and eviction assistance. So kind of the procedural process that you all go through.
Sure. So by ordinance, this is meant to be shorter term assistance. So basically we take applications and we look at it through some of our qualifications, so the income qualifications, as well as if it's something where the person would be requesting assistance on a short-term basis. So the duration by ordinance is for no longer than 90 days of assistance, so it's really short-term assistance by person. And we also look at if they also have to show us that they don't have other means of paying for whatever the need is. And if for some reason they are not necessarily qualifying for this particular assistance, we do work closely with
I'm with you, Robert.
other agencies. We work closely with TRUA to try to connect folks to where they might be able to get further assistance. Is that answering the question about how we get this out?
It is, and I guess I just want to make sure I'm understanding.
Might be able to get if they need to opt in. Don't forget, you have to opt into eviction prevention with a Google form.
Explicitly for this funding, just trying to distinguish this portal from the TRUA portal.
Sure. So I could ask for that lead. I don't know if we, to be honest, I don't know if we ask when somebody applies if they are receiving other benefits. However, I'm not aware that we disqualify somebody for this assistance just because they might be receiving other benefits. But I can just double check with our folks if that's a question we ask, if they're receiving other benefits. But I'm not aware that disqualifies somebody in this junction for this assistance.
Okay,
I'm not aware that disqualifies.
Thank you, Madam President. All right, thank you, Councilman Torres. That concludes the items to be called out. All bills for introduction are published. Council members, remember this is a consent or block vote, and you need to vote aye. Otherwise, this is your last chance to call out an item for a separate vote. Councilwoman Ortega, will you please put the proclamations and resolutions for adoption and the bills on final consideration for final passage on the floor?
and bills on final consideration for final passage on the floor.
Okay, sorry. I move that the proclamations and resolutions be adopted and bills on final consideration be placed upon final consideration and do pass in a block vote for the following items. 2014-68, 1454, 1455, 1336, 1337, 1375, 1336, 1381, 1382, 1383, 1384, 1385, 1322, 1372, 1373, 1374, 1376, 1392, 1393, 1394, 1395, 1397, 740, 1370, 1379, 1398, 1314, 1354, 1388, 1389, 1303, 1304, 1305, 1326, 1329, 1355, 1320, 1112, 1319, and 1348. 1112.
All right, it has been moved and.
Thanks, Beth.
Second, Councilman Herndon.
Yay!
Secretary, roll call.
No offense. We love you too.
Black. Aye. Sita Baca. Aye. Clark.
Aye.
Lynn.
Sita Baca.
Aye.
Herndon.
Aye.
Aye.
Clark. Hines.
Aye.
Lynn.
Cashman.
Aye.
Herndon. Knich.
Aye.
Aye. Ortega.
Cashman.
Aye.
Sandoval.
Knich.
Aye.
Aye.
Sawyer.
Ortega.
Aye.
Sandoval.
Torres. Aye.
Aye.
Madam President.
Sawyer.
Aye.
Aye.
Madam Secretary, please
Torres.
close the voting and announce the
Aye.
results.
13 ayes.
13 ayes, the resolutions have been adopted and the bills have been placed upon final consideration and do pass.
13 ayes, the resolution has been
Recess
adopted.
announcement. Tonight there will be a required public hearing on Council Bill 285, changing the zoning classification for 22, 24, 26, and 28 South Garfield Street. A required public hearing on Council Bill 1133, changing the zoning classification for 2201 Arapahoe Street. And a required public hearing on Council Bill 134, changing the zoning classification for 1055 Locust Street. Anyone wishing to speak on any of these matters must go online to sign up during the recess of council. If there are no objections from members of council, we will take a 10-minute recess. Council members, please remember to turn off your cameras and mute your microphones, and we will return at 7:26 p.m.
And we will return at 7:26 p.m.
The history of the lights is really interesting. It actually started back in 1919 when the Civic Center Park was actually the first thing that was lit prior to the city and county building being lit. So in 1919, they took the white globes around the park and they changed them to red and green lights, and then they twined some evergreen branches together. So that was the first lighting here at Civic Center Park. When the building, city and county building, was finished being built, the city offices moved into them, and that's when they began to light the city and county building. We celebrated two different traditions right now. We celebrate 101 years for the first time the Civic Center Park was lit, but this will be our 88th year for lighting the city and county building.
I just got the bad signal. I'm gonna have to do the rest of this from home.
Across the country, across the world, and certainly here in Denver. And tradition is something that actually brings the community together.
Tolerated
City
a lot
County
of-
Development Event is a tradition for us.
All right, I got the bad signal. I got to go home. I will resume streaming when I get there, as long as what I'm walking into is not a sick child. I know, I feel the same way, y'all.
This year is